Hello and welcome back aboard Narrowboat Gentian, where it is a gorgeous spring day towards the end of March, blue skies, a light albeit rather chilly breeze, but basically sunshine and a nice day. And it occurred to me the other day that the boat hasn't actually moved since I think last October, when I took the members of my pub quiz team for a day out on it, and before that it hadn't moved since July when I got it here. So the time has definitely come to blow some literal and metaphorical cobwebs off the engine, and I thought today I would just do a short cruise to that end, just up and down the canal, give the engine a bit of a run, and of course bring you with me. Before one sets off, of course, it is advisable to disconnect from the shoreline. Otherwise you'll come to a rather sudden halt not that far from the pontoon. This is very stiff. Oh my goodness. And actually, I don't know why I'm undoing that one. That's the end that goes into the boat. It's this. I need to unplug it at the pontoon end. Oh, right, let's start that again. You see, it's definitely a while since I moved the boat. That can stay connected. Hang on. There we go. Right, shall I make that look elegant? I suppose I should. Let's just take that one off for a second. Right, there's no power going through this, so nobody needs to send me notes about how I'm coiling the cable. It doesn't matter. There's no power going through this at the moment. Oh, but I've managed to put a knot in it. Brilliant. And I will open up the deck boards and check the oil level and things like that. Right, there's not much to check down here. It's a water lubricated seal out to the canals. You don't need to squeeze any grease into it like I did on the old boat. I will check the oil level, but I changed the oil and filter over the winter, so that should be fine. Oh, and I'll check the fuel level, I suppose, and then all set to go. But again, I refilled that when I got here, so it should be pretty full. Yes, that is fine. That's just below the top mark. That is good. Now, put the scientific measuring device in, namely a long stick marked with full and half empty. And, oh yes, I can see that's glinting off the full mark already, actually. There we go. The big question, of course, is whether the engine will start, so we'll give it a bit of a... or not. There we go. Give it a bit of a start for 10 seconds on that. It's a lovely noise, isn't it? Right. Yay! It's not even smoking. There may have been a little burst of smoke when I started it, but look at that. A clean exhaust. Fabulous. Quite a smell of diesel, mind you, but that's to be expected. So, fenders up and then reversing out of here, crashing into every other boat as we go. Situation normal. That said, things started well, with a gentle ease off the pontoon and reversing through the corridor of moored boats. However, my prediction then came to pass, for just as I thought I was doing marvellously, the wind grasped the front of the boat and pushed it across the gap so as to slide the bow gently along the side of my neighbours like a schoolchild wiping their nose along their sleeve. Next time I shall leave the boat in gentle reverse and stand on the gunwales midships so as to push off from the other craft using my feet. Eventually my boat was freed to the open water of the marina, and I could spin round so as to head towards the exit. You know, I mentioned there's a slight breeze. It's actually a bit more potent than you'd imagine. Especially, of course, in a lightweight aluminium boat. It's really pushing me sideways. Did not help in getting off the pontoon. I scraped up the sides of the other boats. Thank goodness for having rubber bumpers all around my boat. Now I just need to exit the marina and get out onto the main canal. To make navigation more interesting, this marina was built onto a three-way junction, so you have to keep an eye out from all directions as you prepare to leave. As far as I can tell, nothing coming that way. There's one coming down that way, but they're a way off. And nothing coming in the direction I'm going that I can see, so that's all right. All right, pedal to the metal then. Hello, Swanee. I don't know what this is, but it was trying to wrap itself around the propeller as I backed off the pontoon. So I scooped it out with my boat hook and we'll put it in the waste later. After several months of dismal winter, it felt great to be back on the canal with all the usual wildlife quacking their approval. In the distance, another boat appeared to be following me. Oh, isn't this just glorious? What a lovely day to be on the water. And for those folk who always write in the comments, your engine needs some sound isolation, it already has. There's really thick material under the deck boards. The engine just has a loud kind of way to it. I wonder if there's a pig that lives in there. I made a video about a rather lovely pig. Well, not all about, but the video featured a rather lovely pig over on my campervan channel recently. Do have a look at that if you haven't. And the pig's name was Bacon. But don't worry, it's a family pet. Goes round quite a tight corner up ahead and goes under the road. So you do have to be careful about oncoming boats, which you won't see until the very last minute. Fortunately, in mid-March, boat traffic is definitely off its peak, and so I had an untroubled run under the bridge, which takes the A425 road towards Daventry. The lovely thing about this bit of canal is that it's all open countryside until you get to Braunston. Slightly sloping fields, trees, sheep, farms. It's utterly glorious to boat along. This is a lovely spot to stop for a spot of lunch. And I must admit, even though I've only been going for about 5 minutes, I am already thinking, could do with a sandwich and a cup of tea. I mean, there's no good reason why you have to go on a massive cruise on the boat every time. Why not just take it off the mooring, find somewhere nice, stop and have a sandwich, and then go back again? That's perfectly fine, I keep telling myself. But I'd already decided the boat should have a proper run, 2 hours up to Braunston, then back again, to give the engine a bit of a workout. And so it was. I continued, bravely shrugging off the gnawing pangs of hunger. Well, it had been at least 4 hours since breakfast. The birds sang their approval. This could do with a passing boater with a decent saw to take out of the water if the CRT can't get to it. It's not massively inconvenient, but it's slightly in the way. There are lambs lolloping. There they go, lollopy lollopy. Frolicking they are, frolicking. However, I need to pay attention to this. Shush, quiet sheep. Luckily, no one coming. Back under the A425. This section of canal is one of the early ones that followed the contours of the land in order to keep at a level height so as not to need locks, aqueducts or bridges. It makes for lots of twists and turns and, in busy months, lots of near misses with oncoming traffic. I can imagine the estate agent's spiel now. Desirable open plan barn in need of some cosmetic improvement. As I approached a slight narrowing in the canal, another boat came the other way. Being long out of practice in working out which of us would get there first, I simply cut my engine and beckoned the other chap through. Then realised I'd definitely have got there first even without trying, and had now simply made life difficult for myself as I tried to hold stationary with the undergrowth to my side. The birds trilled their anticipation. It can be a little bit tricky holding station with a little bit of wind blowing. I think I'm going into the bushes. Oh dear. As luck would have it, I just about kept out of the brambles long enough for the boat to come through, and I warned him about the one I'd seen following some distance behind me, which he might meet at the twisty bridges. For now, pedal to the metal once again. Don't fall in, sheep! They have a nasty habit of doing that, and it doesn't always end well. Will you listen to that bird song? Through the trees you can just glimpse St John the Baptist Church, completed in 1864 with unusual Moorish design influences inside. I'd love a mooring here. I'd been going for a little over half an hour at this point and was 1.5 miles from where I'd started, so 3 miles an hour on average, just about right for peaceful cruising. And yes, I know it sounds as though I'm going faster, but look how slowly the scenery drifts by. I wonder if I could convert this boat to electric drive. There's not much space for solar or batteries though. Spot the duck having a bath on the left. And the geese rehearsing their synchronised drinking for the Olympics. This red boat was voted favourite at the Crick Waterways show 5 years ago, and if you want to go to the show and learn everything about canal boats, it's on at the end of May. Peer closely to the reeds on the right for a sign of springing. Lots of excellent mooring here. I think I might stop here on the way back for a sandwich perhaps and gaze out over the fields. You can barely see it because it's made entirely from thick acrylic without any kind of frame, but this boat does have a cratchboard on the bow. Look, as it gets closer you can just make it out. It's like a force field. The bridge numbers count down as we head to Braunston, with the last being 95 just before the famous double bridge, which you'll see a bit later. Oh look, it's me, pretending to concentrate. This is the glorious thing about boating at the end of March, in that if this was later in the season, when the weather is consistently warm, all these mooring spots would be absolutely rammed. And not surprising, it's a lovely, lovely bit of canal around here to just come along, park up, enjoy a cup of tea. But at this time of year, space, space, oh glorious space. There's now about a mile to go until I get to Braunston, where I will turn around. There's a T-junction at Braunston where you can bear off to the right or the left, and the T sort of goes across the top of the two. And in a normal length narrowboat you wouldn't be able to slip up the right, turn sharp left and then turn sharp left again to come back. But I think in this boat I might be able to do it, so I'm going to have a go. There weren't many boats moving that day, but when these folk came past, they were absolutely lovely.
Lord David, Mr. King of the Canals!
Hello, you all right?
Yeah!
King of the Canals indeed, it's nonsense, but it's also very kind. You know what I was just saying about wanting a mooring along here? Although at that price for no facilities, I think I'll pass. Hey, you can see Braunston dead ahead through those final bridges. And if proof were needed, that's Braunston Church.
And this is the famous double bridge at Braunston, which, as you can see, has one path veering to the right, one to the left, and the canal goes straight across the top of those. My plan is to go to the right, do a sharp left again and come back the way I've come. However, there is a boat the one that was coming up behind me a long time ago, and he stayed behind, he or she, and they may well be confused by me doing this. So we'll have to see how this goes. But I am going to veer to the right, do a sharp left if I can do it. I think even in a short boat like mine, I might be asking for trouble. If that is the case, I will simply carry on right and turn at the winding hole.
I've sped this up a bit, or we'll be here all day, and I did wonder whether I was going to be able to make this left, but oh, look at that! And with that done, the next left should be a breeze.
Ha! Did it? Wouldn't have been able to do that in a longer boat. Now, back the way I came, find somewhere for a spot of lunch.
Cheese sandwiches and tea. You have to go a little way back on yourself until there's a decent spot to moor, though.
I can really feel the crosswind pushing the boat here, and I have to steer into it, and that wind turbine zooming around gives you the idea of how pushy the breeze is.
Nowhere to stop here, it's all rocky at the sides.
I think with the time now well past 1 o'clock, notwithstanding what I said earlier, I'm going to pull up here and have my lunch. It's a very nice spot, and I need a cup of tea.
And that was that. Lunch was consumed, then I ambled back to the mooring. With the sun having disappeared, it was very cold. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.